What's up, guys? It has been so long since I've done a car review. I don't even remember the last one I did. But today, it's pretty special. Can you read what that says down there? It says mate. Well, M8 that is. This is the new 2020 BMW M8 Gran Coupe. This thing is beautiful. I mean, it's a big body. It's a four-door, unlike the actual coupe itself. It's an amazing car. So, came down to BMW of Louisville today, and I thought I'd take this thing for a wrap for you. Now, a little bit of history about the M cars. BMW M was started in 1972 with I think they had 30 employees. So almost 40 years ago, they started the M cars. And the first M car release was the M1, and that was released in 1978 at the Paris Auto Show with 276 horsepower and a 3-litre mid-mount engine. So that's what started it. Now the M employ about 400 people. So the M8 boasts a Harman Kardon sound system with 20 speakers. The sound is just amazing. I mean, I used to get excited when a car had like 7 or 8 speakers, but 20? That's unbelievable. And just so you know, this particular model, the MSRP is $136,000. There's a lot of different options you can choose from to come to that price. Mate, you know the crazy thing about this car, for a car that weighs 5,380 pounds, it accelerates from 0 to 60 in only 3.1 seconds. The competition is actually 3.0, which is pretty quick. It has a 4.4 litre V8 twin turbo, and it produces 600 horsepower. The competition model produces 617 horsepower. This accelerates faster than a lot of its competition. The Chevrolet C7 Z06 is like 3.7 seconds. Mercedes AMG GTR is 3.6 seconds. The Lamborghini Huracan, the Audi R8, the Ferrari 458 Italia, the Aston Martin DBS Superleggera, the Pagani Zonda, they all go 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. And the closest to this car, Porsche 911 GT3, does it in 3.3 seconds. You know, I feel like we've stood around and talked about this thing for far too long. What do you reckon? Yep. How about we take this thing out on the street and give it a spin and see what you can actually do? I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. I had to take my bloody jacket off. I was freezing outside. Lucky you're not Brass Monkey out here, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, this thing has a remote start, so let's crank it up. Here she goes. How about we check out under the bonnet of this thing? Check out that 4.4 litre twin turbo V8. Since we're back here, we may as well check out what's in the boot, eh? Well, there she goes. BMW first came out with the 8 Series back in 1990. The series ran up until 1999. It's almost 10 years they had the 8 Series. And they had the 840 and the 850. Now the 850 had a 296 horsepower V12 in it. And the crazy thing is, I actually got to drive one of those back in that time. And it was fast. It's crazy how far they've come though, when you think about how that was fast back then compared to today's standards. I mean, it's ridiculous. The M8 competition has 617 horsepower, and the M8 Gran Coupe, which is what I'm in right now, has 600 horsepower and 553 foot-pounds of torque. It has a 0 to 60 time of 3 seconds, which is incredible. I believe the Gran Coupe's 3.1 and the competition's 3 seconds. So yeah, it's powered by a 4.4 litre twin turbo V8. And let's take it for a wrap. So the hardest thing about me driving this car right now is it has to go through its braking period, which is about 1,200 miles. I believe it has to be under 80 miles an hour or 4,500 RPM. So that's pretty tough. Now, the braking on this car is phenomenal. Okay, you have 2 different modes of braking. It's like a sport and a track, I believe, and it pulls you up on a dime, like for real. The brakes on this car are 15.8 inch front rotor and 15-inch rear, and they definitely do the job, that's for sure. You probably noticed since I've been driving around, hats on, hats off. It's bloody cold outside. Hats off. Anyway, we're gonna give it a tiny little squirt up here, and then what we're gonna do is test the skids, because like I was saying about the rotors, they're almost 16 inches in the front, so there's some big ones. So let's give it a little go, eh? All right, gonna test the skids. Well, she pulls up really, really well. Now, when you downshift, you get the throttle blip. Basically, you know, match the revving, take strain off the engine. You hear that? So hard to keep it under 4,500. This thing just wants to go. Like, it is super quick. I mean, for such a heavy car to accelerate to 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds is insane. Turning radius ain't too bad for such a large car either, because it has a big wheelbase. This car does not feel like a big body car. It is very peppy, it's nimble, it handles like it's on rails. Now, I was talking before about the 2 different suspension options you have. I've literally just kept the car in stock the way it comes. I haven't changed anything, and it feels amazing. I referred to the fact that it has to go through the running period, which is 1,200 miles, and it obviously hasn't had that, so I'm just trying to, you know, be cautious of the way I drive it. That corner's so good. So behind that 4.4 litre twin turbo V8, we've got an 8-speed dual clutch automatic control transmission, and of course you've got your standard paddle shifters, and then down obviously in the console, if you want to, you've got the Steptronic as well. So it's you got that sporty feel. You see the head-up display hovering over the bonnet there. If you press the Ambo button, which is right here, you get the tachometer and the speedo. It's a really cool feature. Alright guys, there's so many features on this car I didn't go over today, but you know, some of that stuff I don't even care. I care about the horsepower and the way it performs, and she's a performer, that's for sure. One thing I did want to say though, that this thing is actually all-wheel drive, but you can toggle it to rear-wheel drive and take traction control off. You know what that means, right? Drift City USA, yo. Anyway, couldn't do that obviously because the owner kicked my ass, and we can't have that, can we? So that is it, my friends. That was a awesome experience. This car is amazing. It blew my mind, let's be real. Like, it's mind-boggling how good this car is. So do yourselves a favor and go in and test drive one and buy one, because you'll love it. You know, all I did by driving this car is bloody tease myself, because now I have to get back in that bloody crappy Civic. So like all good things, everything must come to an end, and that is the case with this video. I had a blast down here at BMW of Louisville, and the owner and general manager have given me permission to review any car I want, so that's awesome. So they're gonna do pretty much all the M cars, the X7 M50 as well, and then if we get any cool used cars on the lot, I'll be doing them too. But I appreciate you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure driving this thing. Do me a favor, like and subscribe, and remember, there's going to be heaps more. I love you guys. Peace out.
VTEC, yo.